Hello buddies, StarCraft here again for some more iron squiddly diddly action. And this time, it is gonna be game 2 between between IM's MVP, spawning as the red tearing down here, on the bottom right of Ahana, and in the top left, it is gonna be Mouse's MaNa. Don't be fooled by Mouse TC Tosh, it is indeed MaNa the Polish Terror as the blue Protoss. Listen to that freaking sweet epic music swell up and get excited, guys, as this is game 2. Can MaNa... Oh, actually, I don't want to spoil it for you. Actually, I'm about to spoil it for you, so go check out game 2 if you haven't. Game 1 if you have not, as I'm about to recap that game. Now, what we saw in game 1 was MVP man going for some sick as 2-base aggression, getting out so many Marauders off of 5 racks. And unfortunately for MaNa, he just thought, oh man, this is a pretty big map, I'm gonna play pretty economic, chrono out a whole bunch of probes. Didn't even manage to really get any serious tech out, only got a few Immortals out. No robotics bay or anything like that. And MVP just absolutely crushed him with some nice aggression down by his third, at the same time dropping in his main, taking out about 17 workers like a complete boss, and that put MaNa on the massive back foot, who at that stage was just trying to chrono out as many Warpgate units as he could, but he could not handle the constant streaming in of Marauders, Medivacs and Marines. And hello Mr. Shark, how you doing? Did you enjoy game 1?
Oh yeah, well, so good. You definitely should check that out if you haven't checked that out.
Thanks for that. Always good to get a what's the word? An endorsement from Stevie the Shark. He's always handy for stuff like that. Looks like MVP is going to be walling in, so he does not want to let MaNa see what he is doing. Is getting up that gas kind of early here. If you would be seeing a fast expand, so is he going to be going for some sort of 1-1-1 off of one base, as aggression's been working pretty well for him? We shall see indeed. This SCV looks like it's going to be heading out to scout, check for any proxy pyrons. At the same time, the cybernetics core is done, gateway reshot straight away, and MaNa doing it about as standard as it gets. The Zealot's going to be heading on out. He is supply blocked right now for a few seconds. That's not fun, although not a huge deal. I like the path of this SCV, scouting along here to look for proxy pylons before heading over to the main. Cool little pro tip there for you players on Ahana doing your scouting. Reactor on the way, which is interesting as he got into such an early gas. And looks like he is going for quite a bit of aggression here with an extra 2 barracks on the way. And my bad, he is going to be expanding here off that 1 rack. So both players going pretty standard here so far. There goes the Nexus for MaNa. The reactor on the way, going to start pumping out Marines so he can hold off any kind of early aggression. But that is not going to be coming, as we as the almighty observers know indeed that MaNa has expanded here. And then CC going to be finishing up. MVP probably going to be hovering 150 to boom that into orbital command as soon as he can. Oh my god, his timings is so good. That was almost exactly 150 when that finished. You know he's done these kind of builds a million times before. That Zealot's got the watchtower. That is never a fun job as a Zealot, as you're pretty much guaranteed to die. And there goes the robotics facility after 3 gates. So this is pretty standy dandy anded. What was that? Was that a proxy pylon? Yes, it was. That's also going to kind of tell MaNa that, hey, this orbital is going to be heading over to the natural. I mean, MaNa's Nexus was up, or is up, before MVP's, but it's pretty similar timing, so there's no kind of advantage there. If we look at the units tab, it looks like MaNa is a bit ahead with that chrono boost, but those mules are gonna be fixing that up. The army spend is actually really similar. And same with economy and technology. So both players are doing about as standard as you get, and when that happens, you kind of end up with all similar things, because that's how Blizzard make the game. So the races, well, they don't want the races to be imbalanced. So that's why that spend tab is so similar. Although right now MVP, he does have a bit of a stronger army at the moment. This pro, man, is going to be dropping a Pyron there, and the third gas going down. What does he decide to do? He's just getting out observers at the moment. Already has one on the field. So something MaNa likes to do. He likes his vision with his observers. Can't blame him, because with MVP, man, you don't know what's coming your way. But right now there is a lot of aggression. Just after the 8-minute mark, Combat Shields is almost going to be done, as well as Stimpaks. He's probably going to be waiting for that sweet timing when those two finish, and then going to be moving in, or he may just move in right now. Looks like he is. I gotta say though, it'd be smart for him to wait for it. He is gonna go check for a third. Can't blame him. Maybe take out these rocks. And Mouse, man, he needs to watch out. I feel like he can hold this off. He does have quite a few energy on those first two sentries, and a third one there as well. Force fields, you know, going up blind against Protoss at a choke isn't always your best option. So MVP, man, he's got Stimpaks now, he's got combat shields done, so he's going to be moving in both sides at the same time. He loves his multi-pronged attacks. Those force fields not really doing anything. These ones trying to be defensive, but the stim forward, he's going to do some damage. But these Marauders do manage to take out the Immortal, although are going to get cleaned up themselves. So MaNa doing a pretty good job of holding here, and it looks like overall MVP came out the loser. You're loser, MVP, in that engagement. As 3 shots behind, but another force field going down, not really doing anything. That Marauder is freaking lucky on 7 life. And MVP, man, just being, I think, a bit too overzealous there. More like overzealot. As the double bunker goes down. So he is a bit worried now that that engagement didn't work for him. He's going to start macroing up, pumping out 2 SCVs at a time, getting up more production capabilities, as well as that factory does get that that observer there. Nice work there. Still only on 3 gas. Whereas Mouse, man, he's like feeling good. He's like, yeah, I want that engagement. I'm just going to go ahead and expand, man. And that's always a good thing to do when you're slightly ahead, is just go ahead and expand. Mouse is, what kind of tech you going? Colossus, good option. Even though Colossus, you know, you could say are a little bit boring, and you see them all the time in PvT and PvZ and PvP. They are so good. That's why you see them all the time. So you can't blame his plays at the competitive level going for them. He does have the 1-1 on the way. The ground upgrade is going to finish before the attack. And PvT, man, it's always good to get that ground upgrade up before the attack upgrade, as this Marine man is stimming to save his life, but he is gone. And sucks to be you, man, as you never had a chance. MVP has come back from this relatively well. Does have his starport pumping out medivacs right now. The Forge, man, is pretty much just going to go away and scout. Although I think at this stage, MaNa already assumes he's going up against MMM, which is pretty safe to say after that initial push. Something that is probably the most common thing you see from Terran plays, but at the same time, a pretty damn good counter to it is Colossus. If you can get that splash damage going on, it does huge damage, especially if you can use those Colossi before the Terran player gets out Vikings. That is the trick. So right now MVP does not know what he's going up against. He does not know. Oh, sorry, yes he does, as he probably scanned there before. So Vikings are on the way, 3 at a time. So this will just rarely come down to placement. I mean, MVP does have quite an army supply lead, but his work supply is 10 behind. So, you know, if he ends up losing this battle, he's not going to be able to come back as easily as Mouse, who's up to 3 bases. MVP's only on 2. And Storm, baby, Storm Gotta love Storm against Bio. It's so good. But players with really good micro, and I gotta say MVP is one of them, can dodge those bad boys all day long unless they get in some sort of chokehold or something, which totally sucks balls. Although MVP, man, he wants to engage you before Storm is done, before Charge Legs is done, before 2-2 is done, and MaNa wants to hold off until he gets all those upgrades. Nice little concave here, so it looks like MVP isn't going to be engaging just yet. Oh, he sent it in probes, man. This is going to be an all-in from MVP. It is his last stand. He does have a huge army supply lead by about 30, but we shall see. Can Mouse hold this off? I don't know, man. I don't know. There goes Zealots. Charge is done. The Storm right there doing quite a bit of damage, getting a couple of Marines there. The Vikings are working down to these Colossus, but the Storms, man, this is why you don't want to engage Protoss in a choke point, because you're just going to get stormed to death. Thank God Charge is done for MaNa, as it's doing heaps of damage. That Storm killing more Zealots than Marines, although it looks like MaNa, man, is holding on here. This Immortal is going to be working down these Marauders. Does get taken out, even an Archon here. And MVP, he sent in everything, even those SCVs. So he really needs to come up, and he is retreating right now, as even though those Colossi went down, he went down, and oh boy, you know what that means? That means 1-1. This series is tied up, and we're going to be able to see a Game 3, which is always what you want to see. So MaNa showing us how it's done as a Protoss, to just sit back, take it easy, get out those Colossi, get out Storm, get out your 2-2, get out some Archons, and do all those things that you want to see transitioning into the late game in the PvT against a bioed MVP who, you know, lost the first engagement. And that just goes to show StarCraft 2, if you're behind, it's not very easy to come back. Even sending those SCVs in there, man, that was definitely an all-in. But yeah, sweet game. I hope you guys dug it. I certainly did. Please subscribe if you did, and I'll see you guys later.